back to my channel. My name is Caitlin, and in today's video I have some organization for you. I am so excited. As you can tell from the title, we are decluttering, organizing, and in some cases restyling some problem areas in your home. If you haven't already, please take a minute to press the red subscribe button below this video and join our little family. We are growing by the day, and I'm so appreciative for each and every one of you who has taken the time to subscribe and watch my videos so far. I really appreciate it. I'm just following my passion for home decor and organization and having so much fun while doing it. Without further ado, let's get started in today's video. So this is the first problem area we're going to tackle in today's video, and it is the entryway. So unfortunately, this is how it usually always looks. It is a bit more cluttered than usual just because I placed the new decor items that I'm going to replace the old ones with on top, so those are there as well. But for the most part, this is what it looks like, and COVID has only made that worse. Let's definitely try to fix this. So the first step for organizing and decluttering this problem area is to declutter. Make sure you're throwing out all obvious trash and then going through items and making sure that there isn't things that you are not using. For example, as you can see, I found multiple X-Acto knife, papers, I found old gift cards, old glasses, lighters, and no one even in the house smokes anymore. So the main objective is to clear off the space, so we're working with a blank canvas, and to make sure that you get rid of things that you don't use. We do not want to be cluttering up our entryway and our drawer with unnecessary items. So now I'm moving into the drawer, which was definitely a daunting task to take on. But once you start taking everything out and putting things into categories, you can really take an inventory of what has been hiding in this drawer for so long. I started putting all of the tools away in a bag that could be taken out into the garage. I put a pile of things I wasn't sure if we were going to keep or if we should get rid of. Sometimes we have places that these things belong, but we end up putting them here because it's quicker and more convenient. But if some things have a place, you need to take them out of this junk drawer and put them away. So here is the empty drawer. We have miscellaneous things I'm not sure if we're keeping, dog stuff, key stuff. Then I found all of these organizational things in the basement. So we're going to be putting these in the drawer to utilize space so that everything has a very specific designated spot. And this makes things more organized. And then when you go to put something that doesn't belong, you can open the drawer and see that all of your spaces are filled, and this is not where you should be putting this item away. So now that you have your containers in your drawers, you can start putting things that actually belong in the entryway back into the drawer in these designated places. I found these great bins from the dollar store that I'm putting our masks in, and so this way it keeps it off of our key holder and they have their own space. You should store used masks in plastic bags, but these ones are all clean and fresh masks. For now, I'm just placing them in these plastic containers. And now it's time to style the top of it. I'm getting rid of this horrific key holder. It's like a tree, it's silver. You all know how I feel about silver, and I'm replacing it with this stunning wood and gold key holder from Amazon. It was like $30 and I'm never looking back. Then I'm adding, as a little catch-all dish, I'm exchanging the silver one for this super cute black and gold bowl. I didn't realize until I got back from the store it low-key reminds me of a witch's cauldron, but we're just gonna pretend it's not. Then as a finishing touch, I'm adding this DIY vase that I did and putting some pumpkin grass in that just to bring out more of the brown tone. And then I'm just putting a couple necessities in this catch-all dish, like AirPods and a watch. So at least if you're going to be throwing random stuff on the cabinet, it is contained in a cute area. And here is me stepping back and looking at my handiwork. for this next problem area, it is the tragic dining table and side dining area. Now, if you're anything like my house, this is a full-on dumping ground, chair in the bedroom situation. I am honestly so embarrassed that this is the before. I want to also blame COVID for this because we had been working at home for quite a while, so it did get kind of messed up with papers and things like that, but we are kind of all back to work now, so hopefully this area should remain clean. I'm just taking things that absolutely do not belong in the dining room out so that I can start with a clean space. And I'm able to see what actually belongs in the dining room and what doesn't. I think the biggest issue with the dining room is that people are just too lazy to bring the item back to its actual home. So really just making sure that you're regularly tidying the dining room, maybe once a day, then I think that would really help keep this space clean. And this sideboard or buffet chest, as me and my mom like to argue about what it's called, is also a space that gets messy a lot. We'll put our briefcases down and papers, things that we need to do here. So I think just making it a bit more functional will definitely help us want to keep it clean. And I think that's a good tip. Like, if you make a space really nicely decorated and kind of purposeful, then you won't want to put things there because you want to keep it crisp and clean and neat. So after I cleared the space, I then started playing around with the decor and putting things in and taking things out that is usually around the living room. I then actually ended up moving the cupboard that was beside the chest to the other side of the room, and then I was able to move the chest down. That way it was more of a symmetrical look, and it really, I think, opened up the space a little bit more. And finally, I'm just cleaning this top shelf here, which also had a couple items that didn't really belong. We wanted this shelf to really be about our dogs, so we kept some treats up there, things like that, but then we ended up having this cake stand or cupcake stand up there for some reason, and it ended up catching so many loose random items. It was getting ridiculous, like these fringes. Anyway, we're getting rid of all of that, cleaning this up, and then I am going to move on to finish styling this chest. I had so many pieces that I was trying to incorporate, so it took me a little bit to figure out what I wanted to do, but I ended up with this bowl here on the left side and put in some tossing spoons. That way we don't put stuff that doesn't belong in the bowl. And then I put the candlesticks here, and also we had this Mickey Mouse wood and rope tray that my mom got. This is her mother's chest, and Mickey Mouse reminds her of her parents, so we thought it was fitting. And then I just took these placemats off the table so that the dining room table was a more clean look. So my mother sabotaged me because this was my next project, and she did it today. I obviously inspired her from doing the entryway and dining room yesterday, but this is not cool. This has not been clean a day in its life, so I'm not gonna have a very good before for you. Anyway, I mean, it's still good because I've tried to organize this wine rack a few times, but my parents like their medications here because it will help them remember it if they see it. Instead of showing you, I'm going to talk about it with you because a junk drawer is not necessarily just a drawer. It could be any place in your house that collects junk, stuff that doesn't belong in it. If there's a place like this in your house, then that's great and we can do that, but we need to do it in a way that it will be organized and that everything has a place. For medications like this, it's these two IKEA things. Okay, amazing. So one is smaller than the other, but that's totally fine. So basically, I'm just gonna put all of these. This is what I mean. Obviously, like, these are not junk on its own, but when you're putting it in places that doesn't belong, like a wine rack, that's when it becomes junk and unnecessary. Tuck that away with a lid. Oh my god, now it doesn't doesn't fit with the lid. That's fine, we don't need the lid. Okay, so pop that in there. You can even push it back. I'm upset this a little bit. Yes. Now we have a clean, cohesive wine rack. Even if there's no wine in it, we've made good use of the space. There's necessities in there that they reach for every day. It looks clean and purposeful, and like there's no junk in there, so. The next thing we're going to tackle is the infamous Tupperware cupboard. I know you probably all have one. It is an awful thing, and I swear it's never organized. I don't even know how this happens. So let's try and see if we can declutter and then organize. Okay, so now that I have this disaster laid out around me, I'm just going to put everything that I know we're gonna keep off to the side, and things that I need to ask my mom about, I'm gonna put that off to the side so that I can ask her what she wants to do with them later. Okay, so the notable thing that we're getting rid of is all of these lids that do not have a matching bottom. You literally don't know what happened, but we're getting rid of them. They don't have a partner, get rid of it. In my opinion, I think one of the best ways to store Tupperware is to put all of the like parts together and then store them like this. I've seen a lot of ways where you separate them, but to me the quickest, most functional way is to just be able to open up your cupboard, grab the size that you need, and then like get your stuff done. Whereas like when it's unorganized, it takes me so long to find the partner. I'm already like rushing, stressed to get to work, so I like just going and grabbing. I had a briefing with the mom, and we are actually going to move all of the lunch Tupperware, so like where it's like divided or like a sandwich one, in another location, and I'll show you how I organize that. But basically this cupboard is now just going to be like food storage. So like if you're doing like leftover pasta or something and you need your bigger food storage Tupperware, then this is going to be here. So if it's something like a big one like this, I would definitely recommend just put the lids in there like that, and then you can just this one back there. Also, these are like silicone lids like this. I'm gonna put those here as well. As you can see, there is still a lot of Tupperware in there. It's just more organized, and obviously if you're using the containers together, then you're gonna also be using the lid, so they should be getting washed together, and then super easy to put the lid back on the bottom and put them both in there at the same time. And this is how the lunch side turned out. So definitely all of the smaller containers and all the duplicates for sandwiches and like grapes and stuff, and then little dressing containers. So this will hopefully be much easier for me to pack my lunch in the morning and faster, rather than shuffling through the messiest Tupperware drawer ever. And then I just have my coffee cups. Alright guys, that's everything I have for you today. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch my video, and please subscribe and like this video if you liked it, and I hope to see you next week. Bye!